After more than 2 decades of public ups and downs, emotional scars, reality TV showdowns, and viral silence that haunted their timeline for years, the moment the world never expected has finally erupted, and not in the way anyone could have predicted. Chrissy Lampkin and Jim Jones, the couple who practically invented relationship drama on reality television, have officially confirmed they are married. But it didn't happen with an Instagram soft launch or a splashy magazine cover. Nope, the bombshell moment came during a podcast interview that hasn't even aired yet, and baby, the streets are already on fire. According to multiple sources tied directly to the podcast production, Chrissy and Jim sat down just a few days ago for what was supposed to be a standard relationship reflection. But what happened next sent shockwaves through the crew. After years of staying silent and letting fans speculate, they finally said it: we tied the knot. No hints, no press rollout. Just a quiet but powerful confession that sent the room into stunned silence. And the wildest part, the episode isn't even live yet. But thanks to whispers from insiders, audio engineers, and team managers who heard the raw cut, the internet already knows, and the emotional fallout, it's flooding timelines like a tsunami. So what really happened on that set? Why did they choose now to break their silence? And why do fans feel like they've waited half their lives for this closure? Let's break it down. According to sources close to production, the podcast began as a casual sit-down intimate set. Dim lights, just to mix into decades worth of baggage. But somewhere between reflections and revelations, Chrissy looked over at Jim and said, "We've been through everything together. And now we're married. I never thought I'd say it out loud, but I'm saying it now." That was the moment. The room froze. Even the hosts were blindsided. Then Jim, never one for theatrics, followed up with a quiet but firm nod. "Yeah, we tied the knot. Finally." Boom, history made. The hosts, reportedly, weren't prepped. The crew didn't expect it. No one had any idea that this couple, once known for fiery arguments and even fiercer makeups, had finally crossed that finish line. But the leak was inevitable. A handful of insiders heard the uncut tape, and once the gossip blogs got wind, there was no stopping it. Within hours, social media was in full meltdown mode. Twitter threads turned into therapy sessions. TikTokers cried on camera, and Instagram flooded with flashback reels from Love and hip-hop's earliest seasons. "Wait, they really did it." One fan wrote, sharing a clip of Chrissy proposing to Jim on national TV. "I've been rooting for her since I was in high school. This is her win." Others were more poetic. A viral TikTok caption read, "For every black woman who loved too loud, waited too long, and still got her happy ending, this is for you." The emotion wasn't just nostalgia. It was generational release. People weren't just reacting, they were healing, and yet questions still linger. Why didn't they post a pic? Where's a ring? Where's a license? Was this just closure? Or the beginning of something bigger? One thing's for sure, this isn't just a reveal. It's a cultural moment, following the emotional shockwave from that unreleased podcast bombshell. More layers of this love story have started unraveling, and the conversations online are only getting louder, messier, and more divided. Behind the scenes, Chrissy reportedly told the podcast hosts that marriage finally made sense now because it felt real. Not produced, not packaged, not edited for TV. It was something she could claim for herself, away from camera contracts, reunion drama, and manufactured tension, according to insiders. She said the vow felt right this time because it was just between us, no clout, no pressure, no love and hip-hop storyline, just the two of them and a decision that belonged to no one else. And yet, despite the purity of that intention, fans are now split right down the middle. Some are celebrating like it's their own personal win, others still raising eyebrows and demanding answers. The internet is currently flooded with opinions, and is turning into an emotional battleground. On one side, there are those who've been rooting for Chrissy since day one. They're cheering, crying, reposting old clips, and saying things like, "She waited 20 years, she got her piece, her ring, and her moment. This is closure for a whole generation." These are the fans who grew up watching Chrissy fight for her love, who saw her tears on screen, and who held on to the hope that her loyalty wouldn't be in vain. But the other side, they're not having it. Skeptics are firing off questions. 20 years and a podcast reveal. Where's a marriage license? Where's a ring pic? Why no official announcement? One viral post summed up the backlash perfectly. Happy for her. But let's be honest, it should have never taken this long. Stop romanticizing delay. And that's where things get complicated. Because beneath the celebration is a lingering question. Was this love finally fulfilled? Or love that just refused to let go? And now, all eyes are on the podcast itself. So far, no trailers have been posted, no clips released. But behind the scenes, Producers are reportedly scrambling to edit the episode without leaking too much. It was filmed in New York in an intentionally minimal setup, soft lighting, to chairs, no audience, and a deep focus on storytelling. The show is hosted by a beloved black media couple known for keeping it raw and asking the questions other outlets avoid. That energy, intimate yet unfiltered, is what made Chrissy and Jim open up in the first place. But with the news already blowing up, producers are now caught between preserving the magic of the full reveal and managing a growing media firestorm. There's no official air date, but fans are already calling this the wedding episode love and hip-hop never gave us. And if Mona Scott Young isn't in somebody's meeting right now planning a spin-off, fans say she's missing one of the most full-circle moments reality TV has ever seen. So what's next for Chrissy and Jim now that their secret's out? According to sources close to the couple, the answer isn't a flashy press tour. It's a slow, intentional rollout. Rumors are circulating about a joint fashion line, described as a blend of Harlem street style and Miami glam, aiming to reflect their evolution as individuals and as a unit. There's also early talk of a book deal in the works, possibly titled Still Down, a nod to Chrissy's infamous on-camera resilience and decades-long patience. And for those wondering about a TV return, the door is open, but only if they have full narrative control. No more manipulated storylines, no more false starts. If they come back, it'll be on their terms, or not at all. But beyond the deals and brand moves, the biggest hope from fans is simple: peace. No more cryptic Instagram posts, no more vague tweets, no more tension-filled reunions with Brooke Bailey or anyone else, no more guessing games. People want Chrissy to have her moment, not just for herself, but for every woman who gave their all and waited for love to show up with respect. She walked through fire, cried on camera, and became the blueprint for resilience in a world that rarely rewards it, and now it seems she's finally being rewarded. Not with a perfect fairy tale, but with real, grounded, earned love. At least, that's what fans are hoping for. But as always, there's still one big question lingering in the air. Is this finally her love era? Or is another storm quietly forming? If you've made it this far, then you already know this isn't just another gossip segment. It's a saga, a layered, emotional, and sometimes uncomfortable look into what it really means to fight for love in the spotlight. Whether you're someone who's lived through a complicated relationship, followed reality stars since the 2000s, or just crave a good story with heartbreak, healing, and heavy truths, this story has it all. We're talking about friendships turned to rivalries, receipts saved in secret folders, cryptic captions that fuel timelines for days, and emotional chaos that will have you yelling at your phone like it's part of the show. But this time, it's not scripted. This time, it's not staged. It's messy, it's real, and it's making people question everything they thought they understood about love and loyalty. When fame gets involved, and if you thought it ended with a quiet wedding reveal, think again, because this love story just ripped the lid off years of behind-the-scenes drama. Group chats are buzzing, Reddit threads are decoding every look and post, and fans are already taking sides like it's a reality reunion waiting to happen. The reactions are raw. People are torn. For some, this feels like the full-circle moment they've been waiting on since Chrissy proposed to Jim all those years ago. For others, it feels like an ending that still doesn't feel fully healed. But regardless of where you stand, one thing is clear: the conversation is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning. It's just beginning. So if you're the type of viewer who wants to hear the truth without filters, who lives for the drama without edits, and who craves the kind of emotion that doesn't apologize, then you're in the right place. What's coming next will have your jaw on the floor, your phone overheating, and your favorite influencers doing double takes. Because the story, it's about to escalate. It's not just a love tale. It's a truth bomb, a reality check, a behind-the-curtain reveal that turns assumptions into questions and fans into investigators. Grab your drink, pull up that group chat, because what we're diving into next, it's even messier, and yes, that's saying a lot. From deleted tweets to surprise reactions, private DMs to public meltdowns, the next chapter is where the real fireworks begin. Trust and believe. We're talking about betrayal disguised as friendship, clapbacks that hit too close to home, and shade that isn't even trying to be subtle anymore. Screenshots, we got them, sus timing, it's all over the place. And guess what? Brooke Bailey might have just thrown the first match. Just hours after the leaked wedding news started going viral, Brooke posted a not-so-innocent Instagram story. No names were mentioned, but the caption, "Some people wait 20 years just to say I do when they should have been saying goodbye." The internet caught it immediately. Comments flooded in. Was it shade? Was it aimed at Chrissy? And most importantly, is this the beginning of a new feud between two women with decades of shared reality TV history? The timeline lit up with side-by-side posts, old clips resurfaced, and fans began dissecting every interaction the two had during their love and hip-hop days. So here's the real tea: if you thought Chrissy and Jim's wedding was the end of the story, it's not. It was just the spark. What's coming next is a full-blown flame. The fallout is already building. Allegiances are shifting. Even people who were silent for years are suddenly logging back on with something to say. And trust me, what's about to come out will have everyone talking for all the right and wrong reasons. This isn't just about love anymore. It's about who gets the last word and who finally walks away free. So stick with us, because what we're covering next, it's louder, darker, and more layered than anything we've dropped before. The tea is boiling, the tension is thick, and the truth, it's not waiting for anyone's approval. Hit that next video, stay locked in, because the next chapter is already unfolding, and baby, you do not want to miss what we found.